Seventh graders, let's go through this. I don't got a lot of battery time, so we're going to be doing this one kind of quick. Follow along. I've got all the odd ones as usual because I know the even ones are not in your book and the odd ones are in the back. So I'm always going to be doing the odd ones. Simplify the expression 0.3 second power times 0.3 the fifth power. We know when we're multiplying and our base is the same, we're allowed to add our exponents. 2 plus 5 is 7. This is 0.3 to the seventh power. Number 3, we got negative 1 over 4 to the 6th power times negative 1 over 4 to the 8th power. Again, our bases are the same. We can add our exponents. 6 plus 8 is 14. So that means I've got negative 1 over 4 to the 14th power. And don't forget, you have to go ahead and put parentheses around the negative and the 1/4 because it is part of the base. All right, let's go to number 5. 3 plus t equals 7. This is a one-step equation, which means I've got to take this number, bring it over here, so t equals something. The only way to get rid of 3 is to subtract 3. And whatever I subtract from one side of the equal sign, I've got to subtract from the other side. That is the rule of equalities. All right, so that leaves me t over here, and 7 minus 3 is 4, so t equals 4. All right, on number 7, we got negative 4a equals 32. Again, I have to do the opposite to get a by itself. Negative 4 is being multiplied to a, so I'm going to divide negative 4 away by turning it into a fraction. I know every fraction is a division problem. Negative 4 divided by negative 4 is 1. So that leaves me with a, 1a by itself. But remember, whatever I divide from one side of the equation, I have to divide from the other. 32 divided by negative 4 is a positive divided by negative. That will give me a negative answer. 32 divided by 4 will give me 8. So our answer is negative 8. All right, let's go to number 9. Subtract here. Well, this is pretty easy, right? 69 minus 38. If it helps, go ahead and put them on top of each other. Okay. And 9 minus 8, of course, is 1. And 6 minus 3 is 3. That's pretty easy. Now we got number 11. Well, once again, we're going to subtract here. We'll just stack them to make it easier like we learned. And we see that 7 minus 3 is 4. 7 minus 6 is 1. And then the 1 comes down. Our answer is 114. Well, number 13, what is the range of this data? Remember when we talked about range, I said you have to take the biggest number minus the small number. But the first thing you have to do is put them in order. So let's go in order here. I see the smallest one is going to be 8. All right, the second smallest is going to be 12. Then 12 again. Then 15, then 17, then 18, and then 30. And we see the biggest number is 30, the smallest number is 8. To find the range, we take 30 and we subtract 8. And that tells us we have a range of 22. All right, let's go to number 15. Choose a unit fraction to represent the space between tick marks on the number line. Write the addition expression being modeled, then find the sum. So we're going by the number line here, okay? I don't see the number 1 written over here, so I have to assume it's over here. That means this is a fraction, right? If this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is 5 out of 5. And we see that we're going back 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're subtracting 4 out of 5. Okay, and that is going to give us 1 over 5. All right, let's go ahead and move on to number 17. Find the sum, write fractions in simplest form. Well, this is pretty easy. We're just combining numbers. This time they're trying to be tricky by putting the smaller number in front. Remember our rule. When my signs are different, I find the difference. These are different signs. I got a negative and a positive. I'll take the big number minus the small number. That gives me 4. And then I keep the sign of the bigger number. The bigger number was positive, so this answer is positive 4. Number 19, I have negative 4.2 plus 3.3. Again, we take the big number, 4.2. We minus the smaller number, 3.3. This gives us 0.9 as an answer. Now we keep the sign of the bigger number. The bigger number was 4.2, so this is going to be a negative 0.19. Okay, number 21, this time we got fractions. Again, a positive and a negative number. We take the big number, 11 over 12, and we minus the smaller number, 7 over 12. And this gives us 4 over 12. But remember, we keep the sign of the bigger number. The bigger number was positive. This would be a positive answer. Now we have to reduce. I know that 4 and 12 are both divisible by 4. I'm going to go ahead and work that part out. I don't want people to think that I'm just skipping here. We're going to divide the top, the numerator, and the denominator by 4 over 4. Notice I didn't say by 4 over 4, because we're only allowed to multiply and divide numbers by 1 to keep them the same. Any number over itself is 1, because 4 divided by 4 is 1. This is just writing 1 in a different way. So our answer is going to be 1 over 3. All right, let's go to number 23. Now we got a mixed number minus a negative mixed number minus a fraction. Well, this is stack it up here. We got negative 1 1/5. And we're subtracting 3/5. So please remember the rule for this, okay? When my signs are the same, I find the sum. Some people might be confused with this addition sign, but remember, we're adding a negative number. Think of it this way. There's a positive and then parentheses with a negative here. And the rule is, whenever there's parentheses, we're multiplying. When we multiply a positive times a negative, we get a negative number. All right, so now we've got 1 plus 3, and that's going to make 4 over 5. And the 1 comes down. So remember, they're both negative, so this is like me borrowing money, and then I borrow more money. I owe money in the end, right? So I'm going to add them together, but I'm keeping the sign. So when my signs are the same, I keep the same sign. There's 2 rules to remember when you have the signs the same. 1, when the signs are the same, you find the sum. And when the signs are the same, you keep the same sign. All right? Number 25. This time we've got subtracting fractions with different denominators. We both know that we're going to have to find a common denominator. If I take 7 and multiply it to 2, I'll get 14. So I'm going to multiply this fraction to 2 over 2. Remember, I'm only allowed to multiply and divide numbers by 1. And 2 over 2 is 1, because 2 divided by 2 is 1. This is going to give me 2 times 2, which is 4, and 7 times 2, which is 14. Now I've got common denominators. I have negative 9 over 14. And we're adding 4 over 14 to it. All right, now I got a negative and a positive number. When my signs are different, I find the difference. I'll take the big number minus the small number. That's going to give me 5. So this is going to be equal to 5 over 14. And I have to remember to keep the sign of the bigger number. The bigger number here was 9. So this would be a negative 5 over 14. Number 27. Once again, we got different denominators. I'm going to stack this one up here. We got 15 over 4. And then we've got minus, we're subtracting 4 1/3. We're going to have to get common denominators. I know that 4 times 3 are going to be 12. So I can rewrite this by putting, I'm going to multiply this to 1 in the form of 3 over 3. And that gives me, 15 times 3 is 45. And then 4 times 3 is 12. I'm probably going to want to go around the world with this, but I'm going to go ahead first and multiply this to, let's see here. Yeah, I think I will go around the world first. That's what I want to do first. So let me take away those little dots. That tells me that I'm going to go 3 times 4, that's 12. And then 12 plus 1 makes 13. So this is actually equal to negative 13 over 3. Now I'm going to go ahead and multiply this to 4 over 4, because remember, I need that denominator to be 12. See right there, 12. So I'm going to multiply it to 1 in the form of 4 over 4. I know that 3 times 4 will give me 12 here. And then 4 times 3, well, that's going to be 2, I think it's 52. And this is a negative 52. Don't forget that negative sign in front of me. So now I got 45 over 12 minus 52 over 12. I see there's a bigger number. Remember, our rule is when my signs are different, I find the difference. So I'm going to be taking 52 and minusing 45. If I do that, that's going to give me 7. Then I keep the sign of the bigger number. Well, the bigger number is 52, so this would be a negative sign. That tells me that 15 over 4 minus 4 1/3 is going to give me negative 7 over 12. All right, let's go on to number 29. So let's describe a real life situation that can be represented by the addition expression model on the number line here. All right, let's go ahead and work that one. To do this, I'm going to look carefully at how they broke up the numbers here. I see there's 1, 2, 3 spaces before it gets a negative 1, and 1, 2, 3 before it gets a negative 2. They're dividing this into thirds. So that would tell me this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 thirds, right? And I would be subtracting 1, 2, 2 out of 3. So this is going to give me something like this. And this is just a sample answer. The water level of a lake drops 5/3 between, or 5/3 feet during a drought. Okay, so the water goes down. Remember, we're subtracting, right? We're going to the left of 0. Then rises 2/3 foot during a storm to 1 foot below its original level. So we went back 2/3, and then we ended up at 1, right? But remember, it's 1 foot below. So the original level was 0. We're at negative 1. All right, let's go to 31. You eat 3/10 of a coconut. Your friend eats 1/5 of a coconut. What fraction of the coconut do you and your friend eat? Okay. Well, I'm going to do this work over here. It says that you're eating 3/10, and your friend eats 1/5. They want to know what fraction of the coconut do you and him eat. So in other words, we're adding this together, right? So I have to get common denominators. I can multiply this to 2 over 2, because that's 1 in the form of 2 over 2. 1 times 2 equals 2, and 5 times 2 equals 10. So this gives me 3 over 10 plus 1 over 10, or excuse me, 2 over 10. And that's going to equal 5 over 10. We all know that 5 over 10 can be divided by 1 in the form of 5 over 5. Because 5 and 10 are divisible by 5, this gives me 1/2. So if it asks you what fraction of coconut do you eat, you ate 1/2 of the coconut. Okay, let's go ahead and go to number 33. Evaluate the expression, write fractions in simplest form. Okay, didn't leave me a lot of room here, but we're going to do our best. So if I'm doing this one, I'm just combining these numbers together, right? 17 and 22, they together are going to make 39, right? And then it says 39 plus negative 7, so I'm subtracting 7. And that's going to give me 32. So this is 32. All right, let's go on over here to number 35. I got 4.5 plus a negative 6.21 plus a negative 4.5. Okay, so I think I'm going to take my negatives and put them together first. So this is going to give me 4.5. When I add these two together, remember you got to stack your fractions, right? We got 6.21, or excuse me, your decimals, and 4.5. You want to line up your decimals so you get your answer correct. That'll be 1, 7, and 10. So what we really have here is 4.5, and we're adding a negative. So this is, remember, positive times the negative is a negative 10.7. Remember our rule for, 7-1, excuse me, for numbers with different signs in front of it, right? This one's positive, this is negative. We take when our signs are different, we find the difference. We're going to take the big number. We're going to minus the small number. That gives us a 1, 2, and then a 6, right? And then keep the sign of the bigger number. That's a negative. So our answer is going to be negative 6.21. All right, number 37 here, we got fractions. We need to get common denominators. The only common denominator 3 and 8 is going to be 24. I'm going to do this kind of quickly here. This is going to turn this 1/3 because I have to multiply this by 8. I'll have to multiply this by 8. So that's going to be 8 over 24. We're adding that to, again, and the only reason I said that we could find a common denominator for all of it is because I seen it, we're adding this all the way across. It doesn't matter when we're adding or multiplying all the way across. I can take these parentheses, put them here and here, or put them around all of it. Okay? I can use my commutative and associative property of addition to go ahead and move this around. So now I'll take these two, right? And this would be times 8, so it'd be 24. And then 2 times 8 would be 16. Now I have to multiply 8 times 3 to get to 24. Right? And that means I have to multiply the top number by 3. 5 times 3 is 15. Now I've got all the numbers that they want me to add together. Well, I know that 16 plus 15 is almost like 15 plus 15, and that's 30. So 16 plus 15 would be 31, right? And if this is 31, this is 31 plus 8, this would be 39 over 24. You might think you could stop there, but remember, both 39 and 24 are divisible by 3. I can divide them both by 3. If I divide 39 by 3, I get 13. And if I divide 24 by 3, I get 8. Now I have to turn to proper fraction. This will give me 1 and 5 over 8. That is my proper mixed number answer. Okay, number 39 is next. Find the sum, explain each step. Well, okay. I'm going to let you guys just work the problem as an explanation. When I find this sum here, I first have to go ahead and, let's see, following primitive parentheses, can't do nothing over here. Explanation point, or exponents, excuse me, there's nothing there. Now I'm on to addition. I can add all the way across if I want, but I see it, I'm going to need a denominator of 4. Now you might say, how are you going to get a denominator of 4? Well, I could say this is 5. I'm going to borrow one of these from 6 and make and 4 over 4. Okay? Think about it. That would be 4 times 5 is 20. 20 plus 4 is 24. 24 divided by 4 is 6. So this is totally legal. I'm going to add that to 4 and 3 over 4. And then I'm going to subtract. It says 2.5, right? So a decimal here is really 2.5, right? So this is really equal to negative 2 1/2. I can turn that to a 4 by multiplying these top and bottom numbers by 2. So this would be minus 2 and 2/4. Everyone see the only thing I did here is multiply this to 1 in the form of 2 over 2. Right? 1 times 2 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4. Now I've got to go ahead and put my positive numbers all together. This is going to give me 9 and 7 over 4. And I'm subtracting 2 and 2 over 4. Remember, when my signs are different, I find the difference. That means I take the big number minus the small number, keep the sign of the big number. I know that 7 minus 2 is 5, so that's going to be 5. The 4 goes on the bottom. The denominator does not change when I add and subtract. And 7 minus 2, or 9 minus 2 is 7. Now I have to fix this because this is a mixed number with an improper fraction. I know that 4 goes into 5 one time, so 5 over 4 is really 1 and 1/4. That means that 1's going to get added onto the 7. So this is going to be 8 and 1/4. Okay, let's see here. Now we've got 41. We've got to combine all these. So I can remember this is really 5 and 1/3. If I turn this into a fraction, this would be adding 7 and 1/2. And this would be adding a negative 3 and 1/6. I have to find a common denominator for all this. Looks like it's going to be 6, because 3 goes into 6 and 2 goes into 6. So I'm going to multiply 1/3 to 2 over 2, right? And when I do, I think what I'm going to do is give myself a little space to work here so everyone understands what I'm doing. I'm just going to, same problem, I'm going to just give myself a little space to do all the stuff I got to do. Okay, now what I'm going to have to do here is multiply this to 2 over 2 so I can get 6 on the bottom. That's going to turn this to 5, and 1 times 2 is 2, and 3 times 2 is 6. Now I got 5 and 2, 6. Sorry, my mouse is giving me a little issue. There we go. Now over here, I'm going to multiply this to 3 over 3. And this is going to give me plus 7, and, well, 1 times 3 is 3, and 2 times 3 is 6. And then over here, this has already got a 6 as the denominator, minus 3 and 1/6. Now I can combine these. First, I'm going to put my positives together. 2 plus 3 is 5. So this is 5 over 6. And 5 plus 7 is 12. So it's 12 and 5 over 6. Minus 3 and 1/6. I'm going to subtract my fractions first. 5 minus 1 is 4. So that's going to be 4 over 6. And then 12 minus 3, well, that's going to be 9. All right. And now I know I can take this fraction here and divide it by 2 over 2. So I can simplify it. And that's going to give me 2 over 3, right? So my answer to number 49 will be 9 and 2 over 3. Looks like the rest are yours to do. Good luck tonight with all the rest of them, and I will see you in class tomorrow for grading. Have a good one.